This is for the nerds, this is for the brainiacs, this what we deserve. Go ahead and play it back, you ain't gonna touch me, you not gonna do nothing, you are not above me, I bet you wish you was me, I know it, I know.
What is poppin', everybody? And welcome back to another special episode of the Only Friends podcast. Well, you know, it's me and my only friends, which we are down one less because my boy Tortua is not in today. But my sidekick is. How you doing today, sidekick?
You know, he wasn't in yesterday either. Did you just not notice?
Yeah, what are you trying to imply?
I mean, maybe you and the Tortua aren't necessarily as closely linked as the bit would have us think.
The Tortua and I are one.
Mm-hmm.
Why is he going library?
I'm not complaining. It's 8 a.m., man. I'm not here for this. Well, whatever. Let's get it popping. Shout out to my man Tortua. He's home with the sniffles. Poor kid.
Rough
Down
life,
bad.
man. It's a rough life.
Down real bad. He's got his nurse wife giving him all the over-counter drugs, nursing him back to health,
Healing him. Mm-hmm.
Helium?
Yeah, it's a high voice too.
We should all do the podcast on helium one day. Oh, that would be such a fun troll.
That'd be actually a really good bit.
We just don't say anything and we just come in and comment, what is poppin'?
I don't mind that. We can do that for like Friday or something.
Has anybody ever done
maybe
helium?
April Fool's Day.
I have, and it gave me a headache.
Well, yeah. You're not supposed to be inhaling helium.
I mean,
Are you asking if like anybody's ever sucked helium out of a balloon?
yeah.
Yeah, of course. You haven't?
Maybe when I was like 5. Not
Man.
since then.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, first you'd have to acquire a balloon.
Probably not great for you.
I think your birthday balloon's still floating around in the kitchen somewhere 3 months later.
Bridget got me that balloon.
Yeah. Shout out to Bridget.
Shout out to Bridget.
Was Bridget the young lady that came on the pod? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Homewrecker.
Legend.
Legend of the game.
Legend. Not a detriment to the game.
Not a detriment, just a legend.
Yeah. Just send this clip to her.
Speaking of legends of the game, did
Good
you
one.
know WPT Global is giving away a 25K free roll entry into their Kings of Cash promotion? Ongoing until further notice. For every 100 cash game hands played, you receive a raffle ticket for over 25K in weekly cash and prizes. Every player who earns 2 tickets will also get access to the King of Cash weekly free roll. There's never been a better time to grind cash games on WPT Global. Use promo code Berkey when you sign up today. You can click the link in the description below or hit hashtag WPT Global in the chat. It'll take you right where you need to be. Don't forget they are doing a match bonus for your sign-up deposit up to $1,200, 100% returns. So get on there, get a hold of that free money, and find Tom Wheaton.
He's out there.
He's in the 510 streets.
Speaking of legends, like Tom Wheat.
Right. You can't let Tom Wheaton get all that WPT Global money.
He's literally getting all of it because I saw him like in Europe the other day with this whole family. Like he's just winning all the money and just going on vacations.
A couple weeks ago, I think he was in Spain.
He was just there for like a month, it looked like. So it looks like he's just crushing them.
Bro was
Maybe
on
Italy.
a family trip.
Might have been in Italy. I can't remember.
Yeah, he's a family man.
Yeah. I it's funny because, you know, nothing about his last name signifies Italian heritage, but much like anybody from the East Coast, if you have any paisano in you, you become Italian. Like I'm 25% Italian.
His name is Tom Wheaton.
Hey.
Yeah.
I don't know that Wheaton is the most Italian
It's
name,
not.
though.
It's not. But I'm sure from his mother's side, he has some Italian because he's very quick to remind me all the time that he's
Olive skinned.
olive skinned. Yeah.
Never forget your roots.
It's so weird. Like I'm sure this isn't true from being from Florida, but being from Pittsburgh, which is like, you know, a pretty big ethnic melting pot. There's a lot of pride.
People are melting in Florida. It's just their faces.
Sure. Well, that's, you know, for the bath salts to eat later. But yeah, there's like a ton of pride associated to being of Italian heritage.
In Pittsburgh specifically?
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I don't know about Pittsburgh specifically. Maybe just like
that area?
the Northeast, East Coast specifically, because a lot of it was settled by the Italian, the Irish, the Polish.
I mean, a lot of people are just Irish. I'm Italian where I lived. Like,
where did you grew up in Long Island?
Yeah.
That surprises me. I don't know why that surprises me actually, but I would think like in like Manhattan actually would be more of the concentrated. Actually, I
think it's all of.
I don't really know that much about Long Island, to be honest. I just know it's far.
Not far. It's right outside Manhattan.
Bro, isn't it like an hour?
Yeah.
That's far.
They're bugging. People commute to work every day from where I
live 20 minutes from Pittsburgh, and people will say like, "You're not from Pittsburgh."
Yeah, it's crazy actually, because like if you live on Long Island and you commute to the city without taking the train, so you drive, it's a good 2.5 hours.
Yeah, a lot of
to
tunnels.
work. Huh?
A lot of tunnels.
Yeah, but that's like absurd. Can you imagine
It seems
2 hour commute?
ridiculous.
It's like calling a clock on people 10 times.
Wow.
We'll get into the clock calling and stalling a little bit later today.
But for now, I want to say something real quick.
Okay.
A little shout out to my friend from the internet.
This is always dicey.
That bought me this beautiful Bengals jersey just to wear for you, my friend.
Who do I have to now put on the list?
Guy in my Twitter DMs.
Wow. Honestly, thank you. Thank you, Conrad. You did it for me. I don't need to put this guy on my list. He got you a $200 gift and you forgot his fucking name.
Wait a minute.
Wait, I don't think his Twitter handle is his name. That's why.
How do you come into this bit? You are cut off. You are cut off from speaking without thinking. How do you come into this bit and say, I want to give a huge shout out and not know his name?
If he was cut off from speaking without thinking, he would not be on the show.
You see, his name is GCM.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you didn't.
So you couldn't remember 3 letters?
No, I didn't know what it was. I remember things that stick out. Like
CSM. You couldn't ask him his name? He fucking mailed you a game jersey, man.
Dude, I'm here for the trolls,
Wait a minute.
I don't need
you guys have a bet.
Cool.
You guys had a bet that
I'm winning this bet.
I know you're winning.
No, he's not.
Yes, I am.
No, he's not.
You're winning. He's winning
I'm
now.
currently very far ahead.
They're never going to win.
That Mahomes will make more championships than Burrow, right? AFC championships.
No. Super Bowls.
Super Bowls. They'll just make the Super Bowls.
Yes.
Right. And then they played this year for that.
This was year 1. I'm 1 for 1.
Yeah.
Conrad fucked up. He didn't bet the year before.
Yeah, I really did fuck up.
Yeah, well, he's winning with the Reds.
We can double down too and bet that Mahomes will win more Super Bowls.
How about I just take the Reds over the Pirates?
Fuck off. Nobody's betting the Pirates.
So GCM, when he sent me this jersey, he's like, all right, listen, man.
Oh, he said something.
He said, do you want a Cincinnati Reds jersey or a Bengal?
You should have got a Reds jersey.
You should have got a TJ jersey.
I was like, whatever one you want, man.
Get a TJ jersey. Yeah. Or,
we'll have to get some TJ jerseys.
Nah,
you got to get
yeah.
whatever his name is.
The guy that's 6'4" and 150.
No. First of all.
So honestly, I sat
You
here.
did not say 6'4".
What did I say?
You said like 5'11".
No, I didn't. Oh, did I?
Yeah, that was the whole thing.
Hold on,
the guy was clearly fucking tall.
Hold on, let me go.
And you're like, nah, he's 6 foot, $150. The guy's like 6'5", 215.
Hold on, let me see. 6'5", 2. Wait, yo, dude. So like, I Googled it or whatever, put it in my search bar, and that's what it came up.
No.
I mean, I read it from here. I don't know what to tell you.
You're not gonna pin this on the fucking internet.
Yo, I have to. I don't know what to tell you. I sat here, I typed in L.A. de la Cruz, and they told me he was
All right, type it in now. Tell me what it comes up.
6'5", 200.
Yeah.
He's 6'5", 200?
Yeah.
That's lanky.
I mean, yeah, he's a lanky dude.
I assume they didn't update his stats yet.
Oh, yeah.
And then,
Must have had,
he's young,
his
He'll get bigger.
12-year-old stat line.
Yeah, like bench warmers where they have what's his name?
Conrad found his Lily World Series.
Dude, he's from the DR. They don't do that stuff too many times. Yeah, one time they put it up, and then they come to the league and put it up again.
Sucre, that's what it is. Sucre from Prison Break, where he's in bench warmers. It says, I am 12. It's just a picture of him, like his face. He's like 28.
Can we talk about how Prison Break was one of the best fucking TV shows ever?
I've never seen it.
Good show.
Dude, it's so fucking good. I watched it it's like the only show that I've watched 3 or 4 times.
You should watch Prison Break. You'd like it.
Yeah, maybe.
You look like Michael Scofield.
I don't know how to take that because I don't know who that
A bald white guy.
Fuck
Guapo,
you.
Guapo, get Wentworth Miller on the screen.
Wentworth.
I'll tell you,
Miller.
I am no goddamn Wentworth Miller.
Look up Michael
What?
Scofield. No, you. Michael Scofield he was out there. He was in shape.
I'm no Wentfield.
Wentworth.
Whatever.
Wentfield.
Wentfield. Actually,
Whatever.
I really enjoyed that show.
He actually had you had to go Wentworth Miller Prison Break.
Mm-hmm.
Bro had like the designs of the prison tattooed on his body. Yeah, go to images. Basically you.
Looks nothing like it.
It's nothing. Literally nothing.
Yeah, he has hair.
Bald white man.
Yeah.
Kind of bald.
There he is.
That looks like a rip-off Matt
A
Damon.
better version of you.
Looks like a down bad version of Matt Damon.
He's not down bad. Don't do Wentworth Miller like that.
I mean, I don't know what else to say. That's what he looks like. He looks like
says what I says.
He looks like a cross between Matt Damon and
Matt Berkey.
No. No. That Widow's Peak is strong.
It is.
Very strong.
Anyways.
So we're early today.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good afternoon. Good night. We got a fun one today. We're gonna talk about me getting whacked in the cash games yesterday. We're gonna talk about how that led to one of the worst life decisions I've ever made in my entire existence.
You say this every time.
Which is going to play the 3K freeze out.
Yeah, waking up.
No. Just everything about playing this 3K freeze out was a bad idea except for cashing it. That was the only good choice I made.
We could still win. First is like 700.
650, yeah. We could still win. That would be great.
I would like that. I like that for me.
How late did you register, sir?
Too late. So this is actually, do you know the backstory of this?
I just know that you were surprised that you could register as late as you did. Or something along those lines.
Oh, yeah, I typed it in chat. Okay, I couldn't remember where you got the backstory of this. Okay, so I was looking at last week's freeze out, which I also cashed, by the way. Humble brag, no big deal. I'm just, I'm 4 for 6 right now in the series. That's just throwing that out there.
Let's fucking wind it in.
So I was looking at last week's structure, which was a 4-day event, hour level from day 1. And I believe it started at noon. It might have been at 10 a.m. Can't remember. Anyway, on that structure sheet, the registration ended at 12:15 on day 2. So I was operating under the premise that was yesterday's event. So my cash game broke at like 6:30. I go to the room. I grab a bite. I take a short nap because I know that they have dinner at 7. So it's 7 to 8:15. So it's like 7:45-ish, and I'm just like hanging out. I'm talking with a few people, whatever. And like 8:15 rolls around, and I'm like, I should probably head down soon. I mean, I may as well play out the last few levels of tonight. I don't want to reg tomorrow. That's just silly.
And not allowed.
So I get in the elevator. It's probably like, I don't know, 8:30, and I'm on Bravo, buying my seat. Buy my seat, it's probably somewhere between like 8:25 and 8:35. Registration closed at 8:15. Bravo app did not close at 8:15. So not only did I get my seat, but I walk into the room and it's probably like, I don't know, 8:40 at this point. I walk up to get my chips. I'm not the only one. In front of me, Ewan and Jack. I don't think anything of it. I'm just like, yeah, we're all in this late reg thing. I mean, I can't believe there aren't more people here. Maybe they're all waiting until tomorrow. So I go sit at my table. I have 40K. And everybody looks at me like I have 2 heads. They're like, did you just register? I'm like, yeah. They're like, how? I'm like, what do you mean how? Registration's open until tomorrow. They're like, no, it's not. You have 10 big blinds. I'm like, I do? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, nah. And I pull up the structure sheet and I go, look, it says 12:15. They're like, that's last week. I'm like, okay. Well, I don't know what happened. There's some glitch. They're like, oh, they probably give you like some sort of courtesy if you if you already bought your seat, you have like X amount of time to come in. I go, no.
You're self-reporting right now. But
I understand. I'm like, no. I was on Bravo like 8 minutes ago and bought my seat. They're like, impossible, because we're like 30 minutes into a 40-minute level at this point. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you, man. They let me go on Bravo. I clicked the button, and then here we are.
And then you just like scammed everyone.
Oh, yeah. Then I scammed Vivian Saliba pretty bad. I had 10 blinds. She opened on my big, so I have 8. Defend Jack 8 off. No, I post the ante.
Yeah, so you have 9.
I mean 8 behind.
He always finds a way to find these little wins.
Well,
9 bigs.
That was what I meant.
I says what I says.
So I defend. Flop is Queen 9-5 or Queen 9-6 maybe. 2 diamonds. I have Jack of diamonds 8. Check. She bets like a blind and a half. All in. Call. Black King Queen. GG. Turn. Diamond. River. Diamond. Hello.
Jesus.
This is why you do jam when you have a diamond. You can win.
Yeah. I'm aware.
I know. I'm not saying you're not aware. Just like people just go, oh, no.
Yeah. I look
Good.
at it and
fun.
I was like, oh, this is not a happy getting spot. She's calling and I'm pretty dead. Oh, I have a diamond
And a gutter.
and a gutter. That's not so bad.
So at this
Let's
point, when
roll.
you double up, you have 20 bigs. What is average at that point after you double?
So that was the other thing.
Then people got mad when you doubled.
Well, yeah. So I double, and then we go on to the next level, and now registration is officially closed. So they post the numbers. At this point, now they had
Officially closed.
This guy's just in the money now.
basically. So they had just shy of 1,600 runners, and they post the thing now, and there's 385 people left. I'm just like, I just faded 75% of the field, and I'm like half average.
Yeah.
So yeah, average stack would have been like 4 starting stacks. I had 2. 2 hands later, I almost double again. Now I have
4 starting stacks.
Yeah, and I'm
so
average stack.
These guys are steaming.
They weren't happy. I busted 2 people that had been there since 10 a.m. that were just like beside themselves living. The one seat goes. He was the one who was like pointing out that I'm like max late regging,
Yeah.
and he's like, "You're gonna win this thing, man. I'm telling you, you're gonna win this." And I immediately cool him off. Where I open queens and it comes queen high all spades. He checks. I bet like 1 blind, and he check raises huge. And I was like, "Well, fuck me. That's a flush. I'm all in."
Pair the board. Let's go.
Like, I bet like 6K. He makes it 35K, and we're like 105 effective. I'm like, well, I can't call and fold. That's just insane. I have a cash game I can play tomorrow. I'm all in. I covered him by 1 chip.
Yeah, welcome to apathy.
Yeah. I mean, what else are you supposed to do, man? It's like
You can just call anyways, probably. He's not gonna jam
No,
on
he-
you. He's not gonna jam on you in a 4 flush.
no, but like he had a flush. Like there was just no other hand that was going to check raise here. It was like queen 7 deuce all spades, where he defended the big and check raised like pot and a half.
Yeah, they'll just never have ace of spades 3, right?
No. Bro, I'm telling you,
Okay.
everyone at the ask Vivian, everyone at the table knew this man had a flush, including me.
You're the whale.
I'm the whale. What do you want me to do, man?
Turned to board pair and rivered it.
Rivered it. There was a kid at the table. He goes, if he turned his flush over, would you still got the money? And I go,
Yes.
absolutely. I go, I knew he had a flush.
Yeah, this wasn't news to me.
Yeah, this wasn't shocking to see a 10 high flush here.
It's
What do you want me to
the
do?
horror, yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather have my hand than like the naked ace of spades. Like,
I can beat that.
let's roll.
I can beat
What do you want me to do? I have 25 big blinds in top set. You think we're gonna like knit our way through this and try to find a way to lose the minimum? Like, I'm out.
You think he would jam the turn though? Probably not.
Yeah, it's less than pot. Why do you think everyone plays so good? Have you played these fucking tournaments, bro? You think he's gonna quarter pot the turn?
You should just check raise smaller and then bet turn smaller.
He check raised like pot and a half. He's terrified. You think he's
said-
gonna just like 10% the turn to set up the river jam?
He said, "I big bet on you, sir."
Come on. You act like these fields of 1,500 people are just all out there in Simland, just grinding it, going like, all right, so
They don't all have to be in Simland. They
I
can just
flopped
raise
the
small.
flush. I'm gonna raise small here, and then I'm gonna make it a 3-street game.
You don't gotta raise that big when you have a 5-card hand
Yeah.
after seeing 3 cards.
Yeah, that's what people who study know. People who don't study see fear. They go, I don't want to see another goddamn spade.
Or board pair.
Yeah,
one of them got him out the door.
Pot.
It's so not disrespectful to the game, but like I sit there, like I just play like these stupid spots where I just like have to lose with value, and I'm just like happy, just like playing really good poker, and you just go in there with top set and go, oh, I know this guy's a flush, but I'm gonna beat him.
That's literally tournament poker, bro. You have ace king, and you go, I know this guy's a fucking pair. I'm not folding. Let's roll.
Yeah, and then they all start tanking. They become the thing you hate in the world.
Oh man!
But honestly though, you did get to have a floor person stand behind you with the ears of a hawk. That must have been fun.
Why do we keep saying ears?
It's a good bit now.
It's a throwback to the bit now.
Okay.
Obviously, we have no idea what hawk's hearing is like. It's the eyes of a hawk and
ears.
Landon fucked it up, and now here we are.
I didn't fuck it up. I intentionally said ears because it's from a movie which I don't remember.
Now we're here forever.
Yep.
Just ears of a hawk.
That's right.
Yeah, I actually want to give a huge thank you to the floor people that were working this event. They truly did their best. And for that, I'm incredibly appreciative. That said, their best is not good enough. This has to fucking end, man. All right, so this hand history is up here. First of all, I got scammed so goddamn bad.
Look at that picture.
All right. That picture is not from yesterday, but that's neither here nor there. That's a great outfit.
They got some stuff on stockpile.
That's a great outfit, number one.
Hold on, you need to rock that jean jacket that homie had on the other day.
Agreed, Guapo.
With no wife lover.
I don't think I can wear shirtless. I need at least like a beater underneath.
It's not wife. We don't condone for that. Wife lover.
No, that's why we changed it to just beater instead of
wife lover.
What a weird name for an. I literally don't know any other term for this undershirt.
Lover.
Do you even know where like the term comes from?
What?
No.
Wife beater?
Yeah. It's because it's like such a.
It's synonymous with like cops and like showing
it's like
up
a trope. Yeah, it's like this is like what the trashy people who beat the shit out of their wives.
We do
are
not
always
condone
found
violence on this podcast.
Of course.
We do not.
Look, I'm just explaining how this undershirt got its nickname.
I'm just fucking.
It's just always beer stained and has a pack of fucking Marlboro Reds in his pocket. You know the type.
Yeah. So Young LA made a drop and have tank tops instead of calling them wife beaters. They call them wife lovers.
I like that.
Yeah, that's why I keep saying it.
Okay, well, generally when you make references that no one else is gonna get, requires a little explanation.
Okay, you've been clued in.
And now I've been clued in. I still don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but at least I'm on the same page of Lost as everybody else in the audience.
That's your final table outfit. You got to get a purple jean jacket. You got to get the jeans.
Purple's tough.
Well, no, I'm saying Lou's jacket on the back said purple.
Oh, it's a brand.
It's a purple denim jacket.
If Kathy can do it, you can do it.
Kathy Lieber can pull off anything that is purple. I'll say that right now. I, on the other hand, I'm more of an autumn tone, Guapo. It goes with the autumn or with the olive skin.
Okay,
you understand.
Sure.
Warm autumn.
Yeah, warm tones. Pastels in the springtime.
Lumberjack green.
I still think you should burn that orange lumberjack jacket that you wore the other day.
Lumberjack
it was like an
jacket.
orange checkered thing.
Oh, I have so many of those. Those are great. Sit by a campfire.
Oh no.
They're hooded flannels. They're incredible.
What kind of campfire are you cooking, buddy?
This Berkey's roots. Right in the Midwest, sitting by a campfire, got his flannel on.
Campfire and singing that campfire song. CAMPFIRESONG song.
What?
From SpongeBob. It's a good reference. Shout out to the campfire song.
God.
There was a SpongeBob. What? We're so far off now. All right, back to the hand. All right, this hand happened. We had to be like 60 out of the money at this point, right? And the kid that I was playing this hand against had already talked about starting to stall. He was a French Canadian kid. He seemed nice enough, but I think he was joking. But it's one of those things where like even saying the joke sets the wrong precedence. And I'm just like, I'll clock you. I swear to God, I will clock every single fucking one of you all day long. And at this point, I had chips. So this hand happens. He doesn't know what hand I had, but I guess he'll find out now if he's listening. I open 8-6 of diamonds, middle position. He defends the big blind. Comes queen 6, rag, 2 spades. He checks. I bet 1 blind. He calls. Turn is an offsuit 6. He bets, I think, a blind and a half on the turn. So 10K. I make it 24K. So he was 100K effective to start the hand, which means that he was like 90K effective on the turn. So he leads 10K. I have trip 6s. I make it 24K, setting up like 0.66 SPR on the river.
Good, man?
I don't know why you're doing that, but he literally like grilled me.
Oh, I was fucking with you.
Okay, so we'll get to it. So he tanks for minutes. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Clock.
So I clock him. Floor comes by, and he gets his hand counted down, and then he calls.
Wow.
And I go, don't leave.
Yeah, stay right fucking here.
And she goes, just call me again if it happens. I go, don't leave. And she leaves.
You promised you wouldn't leave me.
She leaves. And it's like, come on, you have to know what's happening. He has 8 big blinds behind. You think that stall was an accident? Meanwhile, we're fucking 60 out of the money. Like, you're not going to get in this way,
you ain't
bro.
squeaking in, bro.
So river comes a 3 of hearts. He checks. I snap jam. And he tanks.
Clock.
And I give him 35 seconds. And I go, clock.
35 is a lot.
And the dealer just like looks at me like I have 6 heads. I go, clock.
Yeah.
I was like, listen, I know that you don't want to do this, but like neither do I. So call somebody.
Right. Well, because it's funny, like literally in the online sense of it all, his time bank would be gone and he would have 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So 35 is actually like a blessing.
Well, it's not even just 35. So now it's pushing a minute. She finally calls the floor. Floor gets over there. Now it's pushing 2 minutes. And the floor is, did he have adequate? Now it's a new floor. So it doesn't know that he had just been clocked on the street before. Everybody's like, yes, he's had adequate time. Counts him down and he folds. And then like 2 hands later, he goes, why'd you raise the turn, eh?
Because fuck you.
I'm like, what do you mean, why'd I raise the turn? Like, because it's a strategic option.
Because I can.
Yeah, like, because of ICM, because you're tanking. He goes, why don't you just let me bluff it all off? I go, listen, buddy.
We both know you ain't doing that shit.
Anybody who's taking 4 minutes on the turn when they have a clear decision one way or the other is not rocketing it off on the river whenever he gets called and you miss.
Why don't I bluff it off? Because you won't.
He's like, what are you repping? It's like, what are we doing here, man?
What do you care?
mean, what am I repping? I'm repping a 6, I'm repping a good queen, or I'm repping a bluff. That's how poker works. You think there are no raises on that turn when you lead?
6 or no 6, yeah.
It's like he just discovered the turn lead on middle card pair.
It's fucking wild, actually. The amount you're supposed to raise versus that lead is so much.
Of course, especially like whenever you have the ability to go small.
Leads print.
They do.
They print.
So do raises.
Raises do.
Raises print. People don't find them.
No.
I'm not even talking about like just this spot. I'm just saying like in position flop raises. People just, or turn raises, whatever. People just do not find
Leads
them.
are overpowered. OP. People have like kings on like queen 6-4 turn 6 and they'll just like flat. Error. Error
FC.
Error FC.
God, took the word out of my mouth. I hate this FC thing.
I love it so much.
I just truly don't even know what it means.
It just means football club.
It stands for football club.
I know what it means. I don't understand why.
Basically,
Landon forces these things into our goddamn vocabulary.
It's because everybody in football forces it on their soccer team, you know. So Landon forces it on all vocabulary.
Basically,
I kind of understand it.
It's like if a team is known for doing something, like one specific thing, like flop, it'd be like flop FC, right? like that, they become that, right? So now it's like you just add it to the end of things, like Scam FC.
Right.
Like my username instead of any extras might have been Scam FC.
I see.
I would have loved Scam FC. I think it's really good.
Scam FC is better than any extras.
I like any extras. It's topical.
All right.
You know where they won't be tanking?
Where?
This Friday at the Milestone 1600 Sati at the Win. Pretty sick. They are throwing a 1600 Sati with 20 15K packages. Right. It's going to be like a 10.4 World Championship seat, an 1100 WPT Prime seat, and a 3,500 in Win Casino chips if you win.
Yes. So basically, the Milestone satellites at the Win will include entry into the 10K one drop, which is a 10 million guarantee.
Yep.
the 3,500 that you can spend on, you know, whatever other events that you want, and then the 1,100 prime seat. So that I think is a must play because I think that there's a good chance it overlays.
I'll be there.
And also, it's a milestone.
I love the milestones.
We all love milestones.
Milestones are amazing.
I don't know how we can make milestones a part of regular MTTs, but I'm fucking here for it. Like,
you get to a certain amount, you beg for the day?
Bro, no one's ever... Why would you ever tank in a milestone? No one's ever going to tank in a milestone. How do we make milestones every single event ever? Like, it was so bad yesterday. So bad. And this is... you know, the fourth cash that I've had this summer, this is the first time it's been bad. Now, granted, the first cash was in a 10K mystery bounty, so tanking isn't really necessary because the bounties are worth so much that people are going after them. And then I think I just got like good tables on the other events, right? Like the other caches, I think I just like ran pretty hot, having tables where people were just very courteous, willing to take, you know, if they were short, willing to take a little bit of time, but not being egregious with it. And the thing is, I have sympathy for the short stacks because they're just doing what they're incentivized to do. Like, I was literally saying this out loud. I'm like, look, I don't fault any of you for doing this, but you cannot fault me for clocking.
Yeah, of course not. Everyone can act in their own best interest. And unfortunately for you, they gain more by stalling than you do by clocking.
Of course. And also, it's easier for them to execute.
It's like a coup.
That's what I said. I was like,
you're surrounded, sir.
It's honestly like getting colluded against, where I'm getting so frustrated.
Oh my God.
Because first of all, I was way too generous. So we were like 20 out, or maybe 10 out, 15 out, something like that. And I was like, all right, I'm going to give everybody 30 seconds.
That's too fucking much. But
way too much.
If you give, it's 8, there's 7 people at your table plus you.
Yeah.
So
no, 9.
If you give 8 people 30 seconds, that's 4 minutes pre.
Yeah.
We were averaging 5 minutes a hand, and we were only seeing a flop like 1 in 4 hands.
On the bubble of the Millie Maker, Art Vandalay was chip leader, Jonathan Dokler. And I looked at him, I was like, listen, man, I'm short. I'm going to take my 20 seconds each time. And, you know, he's cool with that because you're like, it's not that much time. But at the same time, it's like a respectful amount. Like, I'm not going over 20.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely not going to go under 20 also because I'm going to hurt myself doing that.
Oh, my God.
So wait, this is what's even worse. I'm not even chip leading at my table at this point. and not only that, like, it's a reasonable discrepancy. Like, I have like 35 bigs and the chip leader at my table has like 50. And it's the kid who folded versus my trip 6s. So here's what ends up happening. He gets in his last 8 blinds versus an under the gun open where he has ace queen off. I have aces on the button and cold call his 8 big blind jam.
What kind of scam is it? Do you get this hand?
Under the gun has kings.
Oh no.
And rejams for like 25 total. So we're playing like a 26 big blind main pot and then like
25 because
30-ish.
Well, 8 times 3 is 24 plus the small and big blind is 25 and a half.
Yeah. Okay. You had to correct me for a half
yes,
big blind?
because you said you said 30-ish.
You're a bad guy.
You said 30-ish.
I did not.
He said 30-ish.
You're a bad guy.
You can run the tape back. Go ahead.
I bet you said 30-ish.
I bet I said 26.
How much?
20 push-ups.
20 push-ups booked.
Done.
That's such a pussy bet. 100 straight.
He still owes me like 200.
We were, however, playing a 30-ish big blind side pot, which maybe your ears might have heard. So we're playing like a 30 big blind side pot, 24 or 25-ish big blind main pot, and the board just rips off queen, queen, jack. Like it's nothing. So this guy doubles the 25 blinds, or triples, I guess, 25 blinds. I win the side, and I basically break even. I think I picked up like 5 blinds in the hand total. And then he proceeds to run aces into kings, where he's on the good side of it, like 3 hands later. And now just has like 50 blinds. It's like, what in the world just happened here? So now he's chip leading the table, and I think he was being serious. Vivian was short, and he goes, I'll stall for you. I'm like,
boo this man,
because he was so happy to stall when he was short, and I'm just like, this is not how it works. Like, I hate to be this guy, but like, I'm just gonna be the fucking clock ambassador here.
You don't hate to be this guy.
No, I really do. It's so taxing. I didn't get to play. We probably played like 10 hands on the bubble total.
Yeah, I get it. It's fucking brutal.
Fox had moved to my table when it was hand to hand. I go, how do you do this for a living? He goes, yeah, this part of the event's brutal. And then it dawned on me at that point of just like, oh, like this is just commonplace. Like everybody has just accepted that this is the way of the land, and that we're all just gonna burn the fucking clock until we're in the money.
Yeah, there's got to be some form of like potential hand for hand later, and sure, the clock is still going to be called at some point. You know, like this stuff is still going to happen, but it'll happen less.
I don't know if there was an easy way to fix it, we would just fix it.
Yeah, it'd be fixed.
Like I've seen some of the worst takes on earth in my mentions on Twitter.
Unsurprising,
because I tweeted out yesterday that this is one of the worst experiences I've personally ever had, and for all of the things that people say are damaging recreational's interest in MTTs, this has to be top of the fucking list.
It's an S tier complaint.
Yeah. the only reason I could see a recreational accepting this is because somebody explains to them that it's in their best interest to make money.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of money you make by not playing a hand is a lot at this very specific instance of the tournament.
Right. Right.
Like,
and also if you're a break even or losing player, the amount of money you make by not playing hands is significantly more than you make when you do play hands.
Right.
At any stage of the tournament.
Yeah, well, because it all creeps up, and then you get to this point where it's like, all right, if you don't play hands, you can make some money.
Right.
Where you're not playing tournament poker anymore, you're basically playing who can wait the most.
Right. So there were a lot of people. I saw Torelli quote tweet me and goes, maybe it's time for chess clocks. It's like, wow. What a novel idea, Alec. It's incredible that nobody had thought of chess clocks before.
And then GG literally has these for what it's worth, for FTs.
Well, that's not the point. The point is if they were executable live, we would fucking have chess clocks.
Yeah, well, you're gonna give everybody a chess clock?
No, of course not, because then who would man it?
Well, I'm saying, how do you do it?
That's the point. You can't. That's why I'm making fun of him, like quote tweeting as if this is like some brand new idea that nobody's ever thought of.
I just love the idea that everyone gets a little chess clock, and when it's their turn, they have to press the button.
But you could just game it.
Yeah, of course.
Who's gonna fucking police it? I have dealers who don't want to call clock.
Who's gonna carry the clocks?
So and then Francis was in my mention. He goes, bro, just call clock on people. Like I clock people all the time. I go, I literally was clocking 5 people a hand.
You hired a personal floor.
It got so bad. So I eventually stopped giving them 30 seconds because it was wild. I go, I'm going to give you guys all 30 seconds. Not only did they take the 30 seconds, they abused it. They still made me call clock on them.
They abused their power.
Taking the 30 seconds, I was like, this is insane. So now I start calling clock. And I go to the floor, just like, don't leave. And he's like, I got other things to do. So I just keep calling the clock and calling the clock. And now we're like getting to the point where it's obvious our table is like chronic abusers. And the floor comes over and he's just like, all right, I'm just going to stand here. I'm not even going to wait for him to call clock. I'm just going to clock you myself. And, he's a little distracted and he's looking around. So like, I'm just hawk-eyeing the fucking clock. It's like
hawk earring.
It's like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Clock!
Yeah.
And he goes, clock! You have 10 seconds to act. And then eventually it became 5 seconds to act.
Man, it's so wild because like once that happens and there's not that many floor on staff, other tables will just do the exact same thing that your table is doing. So you can't shadow clone these people.
Of course. It's ridiculous. And they're like, oh, well, if enough people are doing this, then we'll just go hand for hand earlier. It's like, guys, there's 23 tables left. You're never going to know how many people are doing this. But what I know for a fact
so brutal
is that if our table is taking on average 5 minutes per hand, there are a dozen other tables in this room that are taking half of that time, maybe even less. So they're playing 2 or 3x as many hands as us. And everyone at this table is directly stealing money out of the pockets of the people at those other tables.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some tables where people just play like lightning.
Yeah. And it's like, there are people kind of like being dismissive at the table, and it's just like you really truly don't understand what you're doing. It's a soft form of collusion because everyone at my table was short except me and this kid. And the kid was playing in on their side. It's like, bro, why don't you want to play hands? Like, what is happening? I mean, this bubble is yours to exploit.
Yeah, people need to act in their best interest. Like, if people are short, they're going to take X amount of time, but the people that have chips should literally clock them.
I mean, yeah, that's the unfortunate thing is that it's so imbalanced as far as like the corrective action that can be taken. It's so heavily imbalanced towards the person tanking.
Yeah, I mean, it's team tank versus team guy has all the chips because.
First of all, there's fewer people that have all the chips.
Yeah.
So it's harder to combat against. But secondly, it's time intensive to also combat against.
Yeah, because you have to call the floor, then they call clock, and then there's more time going on after the time already taken.
Right.
It's not like you have strict 30 seconds. You have a minute and a half.
Yeah, of course. Of course. And it's like, I get it. Like, I continually kept repeating over and over again, like, I don't fault any of you for what you're doing. But, like, I have to continually clock you and faster and faster. Because Vivian, there was a point where the guy next to me had 1.5 blinds. So obviously he's stalling. And it went like raise 3-bet and it's on him and he's tanking. And I just snap clocked him. Like I gave him like 10 seconds and clock him. And Vivian goes, he has a real decision. And I go, you can't abuse the preflop time for an entire level and then expect the courtesy of like getting extra time whenever you have a tough decision. Like that ship has sailed. You've exhausted your time bank. Whatever theoretical or hypothetical time bank there is, it's gone, bro.
It's truly the mythical time bank.
It's gone. There was a guy 2 to his left. He was a recreational, and like clearly, somebody somewhere along the lines told him tanking is good. So Vivian jams, and it's on him, and he's like, "Oh, let me see. Maybe I'll call this one or whatever."
Yeah, sometimes people make a fucking activate.
And we're literally 3 out of the money now, so we're 1 away from hand to hand. And he's just like tanking, and now it's like approaching 45 minutes, so I'm about to clock him, and he goes, "I'll let it go," and he flashes 9 deuce off. And it's like, this is why I'm clocking you all, because he's not even being like secretive about it. He's just doing it to do it.
Yeah, I mean, the system is in the favor of the stallers.
Yeah, it's so brutal, man.
Which is actually very unfortunate.
It's just whoever out there that's running events that's looking to be innovative and set a whole new industry like trend or whatever will be the person who addresses this. Because in live MTTs, too much EV is being passed through the stalling, and it's such an unpleasant experience.
Yeah, I remember the win for some tournaments would use a random number of how many people left, so people didn't know at what point hand for hand was going to happen, which helped a little bit.
The WSOP does it too. They, instead of taking people off the clock 1 by 1, they take it off table by table.
Yeah.
And it makes it worse. It makes it worse because people know the system. So they'll look and they'll see that we're 40 out, but they'll go, we might only be 31 out because they haven't removed the other 9 tables. So now I have to especially stall. Right. Because we might be even closer than I realize.
Yes, that happens a lot too, where they don't put the correct number, which is also kind of like Scam FC, because online, like, you just know.
Right.
And here you're playing this weird game of how close am I?
Yeah.
And yeah, not great.
The whole situation just felt so incredibly painful.
World Series of clock calling.
And then on top of it, because of this slow play, hand for hand took forever. So we didn't bag until 12:40. We have to be back now at 10 a.m.
Starting at 10 a.m.
Right.
Restarting at 10 a.m.
I've been here since 8.
Yeah, you've been slaving away.
I got like 5.5 hours of sleep. Like, fuck us. What is happening? Who is in charge of making these schedules? Like, it's just so mind-boggling to me that the whole notion is we don't do certain things because we want to please recreationals, and then we do everything in our power to just alienate everybody.
Yeah. How to make everybody mad.
Right? Like, one of the easiest ways to eliminate all of this stalling is to lighten the pay jumps, right? So if min cash was less than a buy-in, there's no reason, or less of a reason anyway, to be stalling on the bubble.
The ChatGPT model.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. If you spread out the pay jumps the way that ChatGPT did, where it's just like flat for many tables at a time, you just don't see as many points to stall. And of course, there'll be inflection points along the way, but like, you know.
Well, that's the big, not issue, but issue where it's like 21st and 20th, like those demarcations of like the 10 deep are going to be very big ICM spots.
Right.
But that was probably better than the tanking and stuff prior.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you can find a system to address how to police it whenever those inflection points arise.
Yeah, there's like weird numbers when it comes to ladders, like 466 and then like 384. It's like, what are we doing?
Well, that's the thing I'm struggling with is now I know that I have 2 more days of just pure tanking. We're in the money now.
Yeah, people tank
and
a
the
lot
play
more.
does not speed up.
No, and the short stacks are incentivized not to.
I know.
Yeah.
Hunt said, or I think it's Hunt, it's Matt H. He says, is it not viable to train the dealers and allow them discretion to clock players?
Bro, they won't even call the floor for clock.
Yeah, no, I don't think
they
this
can't.
is a good
Half of them
idea.
can't shuffle.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Like, come on. I mean, well, I mean, I'm not being.
I know.
I'm not
I know,
being
I know.
mean.
No.
But like, that's the other thing is that the dealers are so bad. We're already getting out so few hands that any level of stalling on top of it is just dragging the fucking event.
In 45 minutes, I want to say it was, on the bubble of the Millie Maker, we played 10 hands, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I mean, 10 to 15 hands. I was just like, wow. This is pretty slow.
Yeah.
Matt, did you experience the patented box and stare down? Did you guys get any hands?
No. We were hand for hand. Neither of us played any hands. I think we were there for like 4 hands, which took about 25 minutes. Yeah, no. He bagged around the same chips I did. So good luck to him today. Quick follow-up to yesterday. I want to give Bet on Drew his just dues. It looks as though he made the best of a bad situation. He tweeted out yesterday, spoke with everybody at Stake Kings and confirmed everyone who had a piece of the 13.67% in my WSOP summer package, which included the Millie Maker, has been fully refunded. Investors will still receive... So basically, he's free rolling his investors for the summer. And he said that the investors are also going to receive a 13.67% free roll in the WPT 3500 tomorrow at the win. And he also distributed the money he made off of the MGM cash, which was $443. So I think that, you know, we were pretty critical of the decision for him to try to play both yesterday. And I think we did it, or we meant it at least, in a fun-spirited way. We all like Drew. And it's just like, you know, kind of a mental blunder that we were just kind of highlighting of this is the type of shit that happens whenever you have the paradox of choice. There's just so much available and, you know, so much abundance around us that suddenly we find ourselves in a weird situation. But I think it's much more important to harp on the fact that he did right by everybody and made the best of the situation after the fact.
Yeah.
In spite of, you know, maybe not arriving at the most profitable decision in the moment. These are the mistakes that are going to come up, you know? What can you do?
For sure.
What can you do but correct it after the fact?
Shit happens.
It does, indeed. We have a new course coming out. Just launched yesterday. It's the game plan.
Does it involve tanking?
No, it does not involve tanking. 5-part course I put together based off of my experience with Airball. I wanted to create something using some of the hands as well as my process for how I prepared for Heads Up. I thought it was a really good opportunity to kind of highlight the way that I approach studying and hopefully shine a little bit of light on that process for other people, give them a little bit of guidance as far as like how to dive in, particularly because I'd never played Heads Up before. So totally new discipline.
How to win many dollars while not getting too into the micro details.
Yeah. I think we got a little tease of that series for you. I recently undertook a Heads Up No Limit Hold'em challenge
Hey, Berkey, aka owner of a poker training website.
in a discipline that I've actually never studied before.
This guy named Nick Airball
Is this the most disgusting sight you've ever seen in your life?
wants to play you high stakes Heads Up. Let's fucking go.
Very quickly, Kevin Rabichow and myself developed the broad strokes of a game plan. We played for 6 hours today, and my man Airball took 10 breaks. It was abundantly clear that Nick came in with no game plan. He didn't really understand theory very well. I made a lot of plays that I wasn't super confident in. I'm going to go back and review with the team.
It obviously simplifies your training significantly to not limp.
I don't want you to become a good heads-up player from watching this course. I want you to develop the mechanics necessary in order to construct strategies for the discipline that you most regularly play. So that's a 5-part course. The introduction lays out the framework for how I game plan for this heads-up match. You can see that some of the calls that I had with Kevin Rabichow are also included. You can hear our process of how we framed everything out. Part 2 through 5 is breaking it down systematically as far as like what my approach was pre-flop, flop, and then how we handled the exploits. Pretty happy with the way this course came out. If you guys want to check that out, head over to solve4y.io and sign up for the all-in access pass. We also have an academy coming up September 1st, Labor Day weekend. It's going to be a 3-day cash academy. We'll be doing that here in Vegas. Basically, the days are going to be split up between strategy construction in the morning, very similar to the game plan framework as far as laying out the way that you should approach study, the way that you should approach understanding game theory. And then in the afternoons, you'll be playing on an RFID table. We'll be in the back doing commentary, kind of highlighting the mistakes that you may be making, as well as areas of study that you can lean into in the future post-academy. So if you guys are interested in that, head over to academy.solve4y.io and be sure to sign up for it.
I want to say something before we get out of here about dealers. Yeah, a lot of them might be slow or whatever. They're brand new to this and whatever. But I think we should try to help them as much as we can and not give them shit. This way they get better over time and we have them for the next few years.
It is a wild thing to me that people can't get out of their own heads and realize people don't want to be bad at their job.
Yeah.
Like, why would a dealer want to get yelled at by these down bad people?
Like a lot of they just don't know what they're doing yet. And just if we help them, they'll get better at it.
Be nice to people.
So.
Yeah, I think all of that's true. I think it's also just kind of a byproduct of the World Series continually growing, and there being a bit of a shortage on good experienced dealers.
No, exactly. That's why we got to be nice to help. Hopefully these people become good experienced dealers.
Yeah.
It's like that weird in between where jobs will hire with 2 years of experience, but you can't get experience without having a job with 2 years of experience.
Well, it's really not that weird in between. I think that they hire dealers the way that, college kids get hired for McDonald's. And it's all just trial and error. So like you're going to get some
mixed bag.
Yeah, you're going to get some like really bad experiences, and those people are probably going to ultimately get weeded out. That's the nature of the beast.
And that's why you can't let them call clock on people.
Yeah. That's for sure true.
With that being said, there's one with some really shitty attitude out there. Can't stand him. Anyway.
Is it you? What? You say things like, are we supposed to know who you're talking about?
No.
What do you mean?
And I would never say his name, but.
What the fuck are we talking about?
Grows is out here saying shit.
We still have 6 minutes, and I didn't even address the title of the show. So I'm going to roll into that really quickly before we get out of here. But played cash yesterday, which led to me making the terrible decision of signing up for this 3K.
You might win it.
It was all on tilt. And you think I need like 5th place money to break even for yesterday's losses?
I think that might happen.
Okay, let's cross our fingers. I got clipped hard. We were playing a little bit bigger yesterday, a little bit tougher game. I immediately got set under set in a 5-bet pot where, honestly, I think I could have folded pre. I truly have a ton of respect for Brian Kim and think he's one of the best players that I've recently played with. But I just don't trust that he's 5-betting when we are 600 blinds effective with anything other than kings or aces.
You can't talk to me about this.
Here's the formation.
I know a hand.
Huh?
I know some hands that would like to do that.
Oh, you've done a lot of 600 big blind study?
No, but I know you have 4-bet bluffs that aren't aces and kings.
5-bet.
Yeah, 5-bet.
Okay, but you have to 3-bet them first, and then you have to follow through and 5-bet them.
I got some in mind.
Okay, well, here's the formation. Middle position opens. He 3-bets small blind. I cold 4 big blind with queens. Comes back to him, and he 5-bets rather large. 4x my 4-bet.
Yeah, I just want to use like suited aces, like ace 10, ace jack,
Yeah, but like
ace queen off.
those hands have to have 3-bet to begin with, which aren't full frequency for sure. Then they have to want to 4-bet or 5-bet instead of just peeling.
You're a spicy guy.
Look, I get it, man. There's room to 5-bet. I just don't trust that I'm seeing anything other than aces or kings here.
You don't trust like that.
I don't trust it. I don't trust it because, like, sure, in theory, you're supposed to have these hands. But if you don't have these hands, how exactly do you get punished in a hand sample of like 20?
He could have ace king off.
Yeah, he could, which is why I called and then went broke. But he doesn't.
You're also
or
in
didn't.
position.
Yeah, but it's a lot, man. We put in 150 big blinds pre. It's a lot of chips.
And then he nit rolled you.
I don't think he nit rolled me. He knew his hand was good. It wasn't like a question of whether or not he was beat. He was just trying to figure out what option was best. But the flop came ace queen x 2 clubs. He checked. I bet 25% or 20%. He called.
Wait, he checks flop?
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't want to do that if his range is mostly aces and kings and suited aces.
Yeah, it's definitely a range bet spot for sure.
I think I would range bet.
Yeah. Which I was like,
You just have
okay.
jacks and you just have to be mad. Jacks with the club, you're mad. You have to bluff it later, probably.
I'd be pretty happy to fold, bro.
Yeah. Well, that's the point.
I almost
this is
folded
why you range bet, though.
I almost folded queens pre.
But this
is
is
fucking
why,
brutal.
This is why you have to range bet then.
Yeah, of course it's just a range bet. So he checks and it's like, okay, I don't even think this is top set because SPR is still like 3. It's probably just ace king or kings, which is either scenario good spot for me. So I don't feel a need to size up. I was just gonna go 3E. I like B20 whatever. He calls turn king. He checks, and honest to God, every part of me was like, just check back, bro. Just check back. He has 4 combos of ace king and all the combos of kings and
Danger
aces.
turn.
Yeah, danger turn. Like, just check back, bro. Just check back. Just check back. Just check back and fold face up on the river because fuck it. We ball. Or make him like, block river because what can I call with? Just protect the ace queen suited, check back. Never betting ace queen on turn. Never. You beat nothing. You literally...
It don't look good, cuz.
No, don't look good. You check back ace queen on the turn. You pray.
So you bet.
So I bet. And he tanked for... I didn't think it was that long, but the goat took offense to it. He thought it was too long when, quote unquote, everybody in the building knows you have a set of kings. And then he jammed, and
Everybody in the building.
he jammed, and I go, all right, man, I'm pretty sure I got cooled off, but I hope you have ace king. And I call, and I go once or twice, and he goes, well, if you got cooled, like, and I'm like, what? He goes, okay, twice. I'm like, wait, so if I've one out, we only should run this once? Like, what's going on here? Yeah.
Numbers are numbers.
Yeah, so we run it twice. I obviously lose both the kings. He had kings with the king of clubs. Very, very annoying. But I had a chance to get even. It didn't go my way.
Do the 3K.
No, now I have a chance to get even through the 3K.
You have a chance to win more than you could ever imagine.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to ship this 3K. That's for sure how it works.
I would love for you to do that. Make me rich, please.
How did we work out a swap here?
I actually get to choose how the swap works because I played before you.
Why?
So
Why would you get to choose?
Because I registered with more big blinds than you, so I get to pick if it's min cash requirement or not.
You were out once I bought in.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how that
The
works.
5 swap. we have a 5 mutual swap on whatever we play.
How about I get to decide if you get any money at all because you're already fucking out of the event.
That's not how it works because I should be rewarded for my playing earlier hourly.
Why?
Well,
If we're going to both play the same tournament, you'd
the
rather me play from the start than max it.
at the same time, if you know he has a lot of chips, you can just register something.
Yeah.
Again.
So if he has a lot of chips, then he should get to dictate how we swap. But
I
not
had a lot more blinds than you did when I registered.
not when he has 0 chips.
Well, I thought you guys have a 5
Boo
mutual.
this man! Boo this man!
If you have a 5 mutual, it doesn't matter.
I'm
It goes
agreeing
both
that we
ways.
both get to swap.
I get to
I'm
pick.
agreeing on the swap.
Okay.
I'm disagreeing that he gets to choose at what juncture in the tournament we swap because he registered first.
I'm gonna.
At which juncture of the tournament?
So the way that Landon does it is
Well, the way that
in order to make up for chip discrepancies, like the last 3K, he max late regged and I already had like 15 starting stacks.
Okay.
So he goes, since you have so many chips, you can dictate what the minimum cash is for when the swap kicks in.
Understood.
And I think that's fair because I have a lot of chips.
That makes a lot more sense.
I don't think it's fair when he had 0 chips.
I registered before you. I had more chips than you did. You had 0 chips.
No, that's not true.
You had unbought chips.
I think
You had 5% that was not coming to me until I clicked the register button. Just go ahead and think about your system for a little while and realize that you need to have chips in order to have this higher ground.
I lost with aces, and you also lost with aces. I could have had more. I could have had the higher ground.
I don't know what that means.
I have the higher ground, Obi-Wan.
On that note,
We're out of here.
I'm gonna go pray that I get a bunch of slow people at my table so I can officially lose all my sanity.
5% is
Get kicked out of the World Series forever.
I'm gonna count my chickens
And
before
never
they
play
hatch.
another one of these events for the rest of my life.
I'll see you in the main.
See you in the main.